And we're back.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Go Local Live. I'm Ava Gaudette, and up next in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, I'm the leading actor in the upcoming Rhode Island premiere of the Broadway musical Bridges of Madison County at Academy Players. So excited to have him on. Happens to be a friend of mine, actor and singer Tobias Andrews. Toby, come on out. Hi.
Hello, Ava. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. So, Bridges of Madison County.
Yeah.
Super exciting. This is the Rhode Island premiere. So, kind of licensing just happened, you know, we got it
pretty much
at Academy Players.
Pretty much.
And it's a beautiful musical, and obviously based on the novel.
Correct.
And the film many of you we have seen with Clint Eastwood. Tell us a little bit about your character, about the show, for those of us who don't know the story.
Sure. My character's name is Robert Kincaid, and he's based on sort of a fictional person, but someone we probably all know, a photographer who just travels the world and really never settles down, and comes across this woman that just knocks him down, and unfortunately she is married with 2 children, which complicates things just a little bit. Just a little bit. But it is a force of nature that they can't ignore, and they try, but it just gets them and pulls them into a pretty big tug of war between duty and marriage and not being married, and do I go off with this guy, do I go into her house, kind of thing like that. So I mean, I've never been in a situation like that, but maybe some people have found themselves in this kind of complication. And but again, the story is gorgeous, and the music is. I mean, I've seen the movie, and I think that the music explains what the movie lacks, for me anyway. So I think the music becomes part of the dialogue, not just something that's secondary, but it's pretty important to how the plot moves along, and it actually tells the story in a very operatic way. It's a musical, but it's very, very lush, and the music is just gorgeous, and it complements the story and how everyone's feeling in such a really intimate way.
Well, let's talk about the music for a second.
Sure.
It is music and lyrics by Jason Robert Brown.
Yes,
Tony Award winning for this show.
For this show, yep.
Best score, best orchestrations. Jason Robert Brown, of course. Songs of the For a New World, last 5 years, one of my favorite musicals of all time.
He's pretty. I mean,
I'd
never heard of him, honest to goodness, before this play. So before this musical, and I'm pretty blown away. The more I spend time with it, the more I love it. I have to say, it's really, really just. I mean, it is what it is. It's the subject matter, I think, is very operatic. You know what I mean? It's very, very melodramatic, I mean, it's really close to home, and I think the music is pretty indicative of the passion that you might feel if you were ever put in this kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
basically, the tug between what you think is right and what your heart is telling you. And it doesn't have to be specific to that, but I'm sure everyone has felt that. And it's very emotional.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so much. Do you guys, as a company, during rehearsals, do you get emotional?
It's funny you should mention that, because last night our leading lady played, her name was Francesca, is the name of the character, played by the absolutely wonderfully talented woman named Kristen Bond. She started crying, and it was totally not planned, and she, kind of started the last song a little unprepared, because she was so moved by the situation, because it really is, it comes from nowhere. It really does. All of a sudden you might feel yourself, I mean, I listened to the music and I've started crying. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This is one of those shows where you're in the audience and you just tears are shooting out of your eyeballs.
I don't know. It just happens. And we've had people come to our rehearsals, and the violinist's daughter was there on Monday, and she started crying. And we say community theater, but I mean, we really do, and this company in particular really treats what they do with such care and such devotion to the craft. And community theater, that name aside, you know what I mean, we really do take it super seriously. And the whole cast, I have to say, is really of really professional caliber.
I think Academy Players in particular is actually very well known for that. You know, it is a community theater, but you know, it's been around for 62 years here in Rhode Island, and they really do get the best of the best for what they do. I mean, let's talk about Toby. Happens to be a graduate of the Juilliard School. You might have heard of it. Yes. So we're not talking slouches here. Right. This is it's going to be a beautiful production. I can just already.
Well, what Academy's mission is what they try to instill is that we call it ProCom, which is kind of community theater but on a very professional level, and they don't tolerate any. You know what I mean? And the director. It starts from the top, and I believe Academy was around before our director Rita Marin took over. So I think it was a pre-existing thing, and when she took over. I mean, I don't know what it was like before, but I can't imagine anything better. And I cannot imagine working for someone so, I mean, dedication isn't the word. She's just passionate about, I mean, I don't know if it's just Jason Robert Brown, but she has also had him come to Rhode Island for master classes and to sing his work. And for someone like Jason Robert Brown to come to Providence, Rhode Island and do a master class with a community theater, I think that speaks volumes about the level that we're talking about here. And not just because I'm involved in it, but because it is what it is. I mean, I think, I don't know, I've been involved in professional shows where the composer doesn't show up. So, I mean, I don't think I don't think we're expecting him to make it to this show, but he's definitely come to, which I think is something that speaks volumes for the level of professionalism, the dedication that we have to the craft, and the dedication that we have to what we do. I mean, I know that I've lost sleep over the show on more than one night just because it's a big
undertaking.
It's a big deal.
So
it really is.
Everyone thinks that being the lead is like, oh, that's so great, but they fail to think about the, you know, hard work that you have to put in, the responsibility you have to the show.
I was just going to say the responsibility, and like the responsibility to yourself that you don't want to look like a fool. I mean, it's so easy to say, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then, you know, I kind of went into it. I didn't know what I was getting into, I have to admit. I saw the description of the role, Robert Kincaid, 40 through 50 baritone, but I had absolutely no idea how difficult it was going to be.
So really. do you have like a special thing that you do for your voice to sort of, you know, do you have like a routine? I do know
if I don't warm up, it's a done deal. If I don't warm up, I am, and I'm, you know, I'm no spring chicken. I'm getting a little older, so what used to work like that does not work anymore. So I have to, you know, if I don't warm up, I'm in for a night of the House of Horrors. It's just no fun singing without being warmed up. But the most difficult part was actually not the music, although that was very difficult. Lines are pretty much my downfall in terms of, especially something modern that, you know, Oklahoma, things like that. Everyone knows. You know, I don't want to say everyone knows them, but they've been around for years. Bridges was composed in 2013, and it made its Broadway premiere in 2014 with the lovely Kelly O'Hara, and Stephen Pasquale was in my role, and they're just phenomenal. Out of control.
Phenomenal. The original Broadway cast recording is really
beautiful. And you know, but
it is all new music.
It's new. So it's not like the movie kind of has nothing to do with the dialogue, so you can't really watch the movie to memorize. And I find that when I watch people do it and listen to it, it's easier for me. But there really is no reference point other than, I don't want to say how I learned the lines because I don't want that thing to disappear from YouTube. I'm just going to say that. So, but it's much easier for me to listen to people speak and then imitate it that way. So coming from that standpoint, I kind of had to start from scratch, which is something that I'm really not used to doing. And it's not that I did take a break from theater just because I had other things going on in my life. So this is kind of like my real return to stage.
Absolutely.
And it is, I forgot how difficult it is. It is really, really, really difficult to put a show together, to get all of these people with all of their eccentricities and all of that
Sure.
stuff to throw everyone together and to have it work as well as we're doing. And I love each and every one of the people in the
Oh,
cast.
it's so exciting.
It is really, really
And you know when you're
amazing.
working on a really great piece that sort of just inspires
It really
everyone all the
it
time.
makes it
So,
easy. And
yeah.
I want to say it makes it easy. And to boot, our music director is just absolutely amazing. Her name is Jennifer Holden. She is, I can't tell you, who makes tracks for everyone to practice at home.
Good for
Nobody
her.
did. I mean,
Good.
it was just it was a labor of love, I think, from all around. I even had one of the violinists, the violinist, Facebook message me on how excited she was about being part. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
musician, instrumentalists especially, they kind of don't care. You know what I mean? It's something that they just show up
Sure.
and play. But everybody has been so supportive of me and of what we're doing in general.
exciting.
Yeah, it's really, really fun.
Let's talk about the kind of the venue and the setting for this, because
Sure, sure.
it's another cool element to what this experience is going to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, this was done on Broadway, so it's a
Correct.
huge venue, stage over there, audience over there.
Yes.
But this is a small venue, and tell us a little bit about it. It's almost immersive.
It
if you
is.
will.
It is immersive in that there are some surprises for the audience as well.
Okay,
I'm
no
not,
spoilers.
I'm not just going to say,
No
but
spoilers.
I wouldn't eat before.
What?
I'm just
Oh
saying,
my God, wait,
I'm
no,
just
I'm
saying.
scared.
There's at least not dessert. I'm just going to say that. So,
Okay.
but it is a very, very intimate space.
Yeah.
So therefore, there are certain seats that are on the same level as the
As the
stage.
stage.
So we're like, it's like walking into these people's lives. You know what I mean?
Awesome,
So
yeah.
I mean, in that respect, it is just, it's super fun. But again, it feels like someone's peering into the window and, watching how these people's lives unfold is a little bit, it's different for me. Because
Yeah.
that wall is gone.
It's going
that
to add,
wall is gone.
like a level of excitement that is going to be.
And the
unlike-
way that we get on the stage sometimes is right around.
And you'll be like, excuse me.
Yeah, right around it's right around the audience. So, yeah, you can't be shy. That's for sure. And this kind of show you have to give.
Yeah.
It's a show that the more you give, the more it gives back to you. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, it's quite an amazing show.
So
Absolutely.
very exciting. So
Yeah.
I just want to talk a little bit about you, because you said you did take a little break from being on the stage, but
Yeah.
not from music. I mean,
Not
this is
from
what
music,
you do.
no,
You're a music director.
correct.
Tell us about your day job.
My day job, sure. When I'm not doing music, I am actually a server at the Capitol Grill, so come on down and enjoy some fine steaks and great wine. And if you don't want to do that, I am the music director of 2 churches. What churches are doing now, attendance being what it is, some of them are closing, so some of them have a higher attendance than others. So I am now the music director of 2 churches. St. Anthony on Mineral Spring Avenue, and the Church of the Presentation, which is also on Mineral Spring Avenue, just down the street from each other, probably about a half a mile. So that was a huge task in and of itself, doing that. So I really did not have time for anything else, just because there's a lot of adjustment to
You're
taking
coming up with a
taking
music
over someone
program
else's
for-
shoes, and
Oh, I
people are
see,
used
yeah.
to that, and I you try to do that as diplomatically as possible, but you're gonna have casualties. People are so that was something I had to deal with on a personal level. It was just very, very difficult, and I just didn't have time to devote to something as big as this. And I didn't think I had the wherewithal, but once you get that theater in your veins, that's ginger ale, and like it's almost like a drug, and you can't really. It calls you back. It calls you back.
I love talking about this element with people, because I love talking about people who have creative families, families in the biz.
Yeah.
I come from one of those families.
Yes, you do.
So,
Very talented.
and so do you. 2 brothers who are also musicians.
Yeah.
Your parents are musicians.
Yeah.
Your mom sings, throughout town. You can see them performing.
Yes.
So this is so in your blood. This is.
It is, and but also I think that it's a specific kind of thing that gets in there where you never really shake it off as much as you say I'm never doing this again, and which is another reason why this has been just is because it kind of reinstilled that maybe I can do this, you know what I mean? As you get older, you know, your prospects, you never know, you never really know, and you never know what leads to what, but I mean, this has been just really, I want to say inspiring, but it also has, like, I feel like I can do anything. You know what I mean? If I can do this, I think I can, you know, I can do that, I can do this. And
well, I've heard you sing. I know you as a singer and a performer, and I can only imagine how wonderful it is. Tell us the details. It's opening. So
it opens this Thursday.
This Thursday, okay.
We have performances. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Providence. It is on the Providence-Johnston line. 80.
This is Go Local Providence.
80 Buttonhole Drive. There's a golf course there, which is strange. But we don't perform on the golf course at all. There's a series of buildings in the back. But again, the website is www.academyplayersri.com, and you can also check out brownpapertickets.com. Those will give you the information. But it's this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday's performances are start at 7:30, and the performance on Sunday is at 4. And next week, I do have 2 nights off. We have performances on Wednesday and Thursday, but I will be in the wings doing things, but I will not be in the role of Robert Kincaid next week. A very talented young man named Kyle Bonfilio will be in my stead.
Very cool.
Another cool thing that she did was we have co-studies, and so they work so hard. And most of the time, most of the co-studies I know never see the light of the stage.
And understand, because
you do all the work that the principals do.
You're basically there to
and then, like,
fill in if they get sick or
I was like,
something.
yes. I mean, I think that's a wonderful idea. I get 2 nights off from singing my guts out.
Right, like a vocal rest a little bit.
Right, exactly. And someone else that's just as wonderful gets to entertain the folks. And bring into this world. And then so those shows are Wednesday and Thursday, which I will not be in, but they do start at 7:30. Friday, Saturday, 7:30, and Sunday, November 5th, 4 o'clock again. So 2 whole weekends, plenty of time for you to get seats and tickets.
But get them now.
Get them now. It's a small venue, and the tickets are, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's 6-7 tickets left per show.
Whoa,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
We'll get on top of
I thought it was 40, but it might be a 90-seat theater. So there's still time.
Well, Toby, thank you so much for being
My
here.
absolute pleasure.
Always so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Go check out Bridges of Madison County at Academy Players. It's going to be beautiful. I just know it.
Yes.
Coming up at the 4 o'clock hour will be Kate Nagel with News and Politics. Be sure to stick around for that.